Oh, of course. Your pay for having a chit-chat with that woman. Here, I think that is more than enough. Well, aren't you the eager one? Does all that money whet your appetite? But no, not at the moment. Oh, hang on. You know a thing or two about beating up people, don't you? Well, there might be something. Landlord Boric recently complained about rats in his granary, and we agreed to send him a ratter. That would be a job for you, wouldn't it? South from Boric's farm. You just have to...
Guildmaster DeLorean sent me. It's about this new protector. Do you know where he is? Oh, of course, sorry. It's just... I didn't know what you looked like. Master DeLorean wishes to see you, my sir. At once, he said. It seemed to be something important.
Why? What's this about? The caravan?
Forgive me, my sir, but I don't know. Master DeLorean asked explicitly for the new protector.
Uh-huh. And it seems someone else has to take care of the rats. Off you go. The Guildmaster doesn't like to be kept waiting.
As I said, without samples, I just can't say, my sir. I am sorry.
I understand. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I don't have better news.
There you are. Thank you for coming so quickly. Look for yourself. Rhodus Trevian. I still remember when he was first hired in the trading post. Similar to the way you were. Do you remember him? He led the caravan that was ambushed by those assassins. Rhodus was an urchin child from the Undercity. But unlike the others, he chose to fight his way out of his misery. Eventually, he made it into the Sickle. He was a disciplined, honest young man. Yet despite all his ambition, he never sought to surpass his path. He was a good person, always striving, yet with deep respect for tradition. There aren't many young people like that these days. I still remember when I granted him the Sickle's badge, 4 winters ago. He was so proud. I know it was you that brought it back to the trading post. I think it would have meant a lot to him, knowing that it isn't rotting somewhere in the desert sands. Suffice it to say, there has been a, disquieting development. Yes? We've found traces of poison in some of the corpses. Traces of Chilean poison. The petrified are sellswords, pathless and despicable people. But in the end, they are weapons, tools. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, who sent them? You say that so lightly. I think it's about time you learn the whole truth about this cooperation between us and the Chileans. The reason the Blue Island Coalition is here is a bargain. Have you ever heard of the Green Scarabaeus, the idol of Morala? The goddess of Kile, yes. The Scarabaeus is made of a very rare gem that makes it one of the most valuable jewels in the civilized world. Well, as you might have figured, it was originally a Kalean who possessed it. Ralius Davul, to be precise, the founder of the Blue Island Coalition himself, and at that time, one of the richest men on Vin. Yes, I will spare you the details of how that came to be, but be assured that it was the result of hard and path-abiding work, something that is foreign to those dark-skinned cutthroats. However, the Blue Island Coalition contacted us about 6 moons ago, shortly after the Kalean Civil War was over. They want to buy the idol from us. A big one. Let's leave it at that. It is. To be honest, if circumstances were different, I would have never agreed. The fact that the Kaleans, in all their greed, were forced to sell the symbol of their own goddess is almost an allegory for the way of living. But I suppose you also know that our country, Enderal, has seen better times. And, of course, all those unfortunate developments in the past years have affected the Sickle too. And before you ask, it is not as if we have to fear for our existence. But there are certain expenses we simply have to cover. In other words, we need the money. Yes. Have you ever been to the Undercity? The house of the apothecari, the pest house, as it is lovingly called. The Sickle maintains it, and with the current economical situation, we might be forced to shut it down soon. We do our duty. That the Sickle respects the righteous path is not just some dull phrase. And from this day, this land shall be your new home, and the threads of which Enderal's future shall be woven rest in your hands. Book 12, verse 93. Being of righteous path also means taking responsibility for society as a whole. Rhoda certainly helped me see the Undercity with different eyes, yes. But that's not all. Yes. Unfortunately, it isn't, no. You are. It was foolish. But we thought a regular caravan would be less likely to draw attention. It was a mistake. I'm responsible for many good men and women that are now dead, including Rhodas. But be that as it may, we owe it to them to find the one who did this. And if the Blue Island Coalition really is behind it, then... You're right, but we have to be sure. Correct. We have to reconstruct the poison, and that's why I need you. It's called Dural Van, and it's made of 3 substances: Netherland thistles, dust maggot stingers, and dawnflower extract. According to the apothecarius, the thistles can be found in Golden Forest, and the stingers anywhere in the Powder Desert. Dawnflowers don't grow in Enderal, so you might have to try your luck with one of the traveling merchants in Duneville. Here, this should cover your expenses. And you have my word. If you help the Sickle in this matter, your reward will be generous. Then leave as soon as you can. Here's a list of the ingredients. This should be self-evident, but still, not a single word to the Kalayans, understood? Rash accusations without any evidence to back it up could prove, disastrous. Good luck, Protector. Yes?
Now look at that, if it isn't my new friend. What brings you here? Have you also been granted an audience by the most pleasant living person in the civilized world? Well, certainly not the fabled king of Old Aranath. But yes, after 3 days of keeping me waiting, the great DeLorean has finally deigned to see me. I suppose I should feel honored. What brings you here? More errands? I feel for you. Nice to see, however, that your travels have brought you into warmer regions of this country, too. I miss the sun and beaches of Killet. I really do. We all have our secrets, don't we? Now, off you go to your master. I've heard he doesn't like his pets to keep him waiting.
Walk blessed, my sir.
Yes? Wonderful. I've not been idle in the meantime either. Another protector provided me with some information on this Dijon. And as little as I like to say this, the odds that the Kalayans really are behind the ambush get more likely by the minute. As I said, we need to be sure. First, we need to wait for the report from the apothecarius. Then...
You miserable, two-faced bastard! Don't you have any respect?
I could ask you the same thing.
Have I heard correctly that you seriously believe we had something to do with the ambush on your caravan?
What I believe is that there have been a series of peculiar coincidences, which we are investigating. No more, no less.
Peculiar coincidences. I see. As peculiar as the fact that you coincidentally forgot to inform us that the Scarabaeus has been stolen by a bunch of bandits?
Leave. Now.
The Blue Islands Coalition will learn of this accusation. Be sure of that. And you. You are no better. Bloody liars, all of you.
Irreverent wench. How does the saying go? Those who've lost the path shout the loudest. If there were nothing to our assumptions, she would have stayed calm. But still, we need to know for certain. The question is when. I assume Onalis will contact them by letter. But even if she hires a myriad courier to carry it, it will be days until the Kalayans get it. Until then, we won't know for sure. Here's your pay. You will hear from me once there's news.